Hello, my loves. This is Gemma with your February full moon reading. This February is quite a transitionary month, normally in and of itself. It's a part of the regeneration phase of our evolutionary cycle. And this February, this full moon actually begins a point of where we are moving into a new sense of birthing a generation. Now, I want you guys to understand that this birthing of a generation has no context. So it is truly what we call a liberation point. This is a major point in terms of with our collective consciousness. So for many of you, this is really shifting time space. And this time space shift has happened for over 8 months. But this full moon is different because it is now severing the ties of the old pattern. And so for a lot of you, this time space shift, it can have felt like you're almost like the hangman, in the sense that you're switched upside down and your perspective of the world is shifting. Now, leading into this month, we moved from nourishing the earth and honoring our new seed and to be planted. Now, February, with all of these energies shifting, air and fire are really prominent. There's such a shift within the North Node. Sorry, there's a lot of information coming in. And then also in the South Node. Now, the South Node is going to move us into a space of in-between. All of these forces are working together. We have Mercury that just went direct on the 4th. Mercury's role here is really going to be the messenger of divine wisdom. Now, Mercury's form, I want you to think, is going to be feminine. It is awakening a higher sense of drawing service of wisdom forward. And it's like a justice. There's a justice and a reckoning that is happening this month. A lot of deception is going to fall and a lot of truth is coming to light. It's a month again of transitions and transition. So it's transitioning order into balance. There's a lot of space that's being created. This space that's being created is because there is integration into the primal form. Let me reiterate how that's happening. Anything that was in structure, in form, is transitioned out. It has reached its culmination. It's like a 20-year cycle. There's major karmic cycles that are ending. And I want you to know, not karmic anymore. We're actually beginning a new cycle that is not based off of cause and effect. It's almost like it's completely free beyond time and space. We have literally moving into a whole new plane. So this sense of connection to context is shifting away. Now, when anything comes into a full form, that means the consciousness of that form has reached its fullest expression. And when that breaks away, the consciousness rises. What's happening now is we're in a space of where we're carrying the wisdom forward, but not the stuff. The shell is broken open. This is enabling collective consciousness to actually build a new world from, like in the stars, it's ethereal. The structure and stability is taking a whole new form. This is going to stir for a lot of you your 4 directions, your 4 foundations: home, love, work, legacy. All of these are relationships to time and interaction. Think about that. When we are moving, there's a lot of things that are going to come forward. Justice is rising, and also any attachment is severing. So there's going to be a lot of detachment and a drawing inward. This is part of the shell breaking away because something has served its cycle. Now, this month is really heavily predicated not only on time and space, but let me mention that we are reaching a point of cosmic waters, and we have this amazing mirror effect that's occurring. And these cosmic waters, there's so much water in the background that's playing because this fire and air, which is masculine, feminine, almost like this transitory, those are 2 transitory elements, okay? And that's what's moving our tides. When we shift our tides, we shift how we nourish the earth. We have entered into this regenerative phase where the rains are rising. I just keep seeing water rising up. The ground is soft. It's like the way that you were nourishing and the way that once felt stable is not the way it was, but there's something soothing about that. That's where you have to surrender into. Now, this month, This is our second full moon in a water sign, but this one moves into Mercury's placement of Ashlesha. We are hitting a point of complete mirror reflection. That mirror reflection is almost as if you're seeing through the mirror. You know those mirrors that they have on like the cop shows? I just keep seeing where like you're looking through that mirror, but it's like somebody behind it. This is an alignment of higher consciousness. This is an alignment of detachment of self-ideology, of the shell that even held the self. This month is going to work to purify and bring order. Now, once that moves through, the full moon is then going to structure us and move us into a place of where we actually honor the things that brought us here. It's going to almost bring a unity within our own, we understand how to integrate more. We're understanding the sense of unconditioned acceptance. This dual nature it's going to create a pressure cooker as it has been. We are really in a spiritualizing pressure cooker. This spiritualizing pressure cooker is actually moving primarily Mars and Venus to recreate, take new directive, and bring new life force forward and form that is not so much pleasure seeking. There's a sense of like fortitude as being, so instead of instant gratification, what am I getting out of it? There's this overarching of how is this coming about? How is this serving? How is this manifesting? And what are the effects on me and my outer world? There is a unity awakening that is starting to happen. This two full moons in Cancer are playing into Mercury. Mercury is touching us into the cosmic waters. Normally we hit a point of cosmic waters that offer like wound healing or ego healing. This is a new regeneration. These cosmic waters are actually touching us at specific points where all of these refractory cosmic lineup, it's creating this pattern of where we actually touch the immortal waters. I want you to think of Asclepius, the myth of where he brings from wisdom, he brings how to heal into immortality. That's where we see the double intertwining snakes. This is a point in which we are in between time and space. Whatever dies, some of it is not going to be reborn. This is why I say we are beyond a time cycle. We're literally almost on a new reference point. This is offering a lot of freedom. I kept talking about the feminine nature, almost like freeing the princess. This is what I kept saying. And essentially, it is a feminine nature that's being rebirthed, but is not tethered, essentially, to a certain ancestral bind. Now, it's an honoring of our ancestors are going to occur, and this is very, very important. It's part of us bringing us together. But I also want you to know, ancestry is not just our bloodline. It is also your previous iterations of self. It is also how we hold self within time. I want you to think ancient, ancestor, us. These are things of where we hold a form of reference or a lineage, a foundational point that moves us into next generation. This is what's severing. It's almost as if context is releasing as it pertains to how you got where you are. But there's an honoring nature in there. And I really want to point out the places of where we are in the cosmos, you have to be, or what we are drawing down energetically, exceptionally mindful of not having a shell, not having a protection, not having form. Energy is shifting so quickly that literally like tower moments are happening very, very quickly within 4 foundations for a lot of you: home, love life, career. All of things are shifting like within days, so fast. And there's chariot movement. This chariot movement is like it's just this. It's unifying the south node and the north node. There's almost a point where we come into this unifying of the snakes that are coming together, and this is where it's immortal. The soul self is finally meeting through and drawing in rejuvenating energies that are not bound through ego or concept or the mind. The mind is being free, and so these energies are drawing through. And this moon from last full moon in January has been clearing the channels of reception. I want you to think of like a musical resonance. Those are just vibrations. Because space is opening, because integration is happening, that means the primal source, the primal intelligence is just moving you to the next level. There's less clutter of the mind, of reaction. Karma is literally broken away. When there's less shell matter accumulation that has created a form, the space between those things, the energy of that interaction is now free. This energy is drawing downward and inward. It is a new emergence. It's like moving from the woods, okay? It's like we're moving from the underworld, but we're still in this world, not of this world. Now, another really, really important thing about this moon is it's going to awaken up a lot of consciousness. The shell isn't there. So for a lot of you, be so mindful of your dream states. Be really mindful of what you are putting into form, because things are crystallizing very, very quickly. Things are becoming fertilized and it's drawing to you. It's almost as if this is so much divine feminine energy. We have reached a cross point within specific points that literally mark the emergence, okay, of feminine. This is going to pin duality against one another. We are seeing this to be unified. So anything that is divisive, deceptive, anything that creates a severance, or anything that creates a judgment, or anything that creates a heaviness of resentment or of reaction is shifting, is dissolved. This month, after this full moon, it is a deep purification. And then after this full moon, it begins to move us into a point of unity and receiving, this spaciousness of receiving more abundance. But this abundance is going to be predicated, I keep seeing this, and I talked about this last month, but the 4 directions. So there will be a reckoning. It's like a balance of justice. Truth is going to be exposed, but not only that, but we're going to learn the importance and reinstilling in this collective consciousness is certain virtues of fortitude and perseverance. We're understanding how things are coming together. Now, the access to other worlds, to understanding the laws, understanding deeper wisdom is so permeable here, more than I've ever seen before. This full moon has no reference to the future. For those of you that understand what I'm saying, this full moon doesn't have a reflection point into the future. This is incredibly impactful. We are literally, it's like the moon. It's like the moon in which whatever you desire, whatever you think is ready. There's no tethers anymore. This is a whole new journey, like the Fool card without any of the stuff, just literally an emanation. And it is in this point that new realities are starting to emerge in multiple planes. Okay. Another key thing about this moon to work with is this link is between the living and the dead, okay? And what I want you to understand is we are literally, it's going to feel like for a whole full cycle, it'll get better, but like almost for a few weeks, the time space is still cooking. It will feel pressurized. The pressure will break on the 24th and then kind of dissipate. Okay, but it will still feel like, for a lot of you, there's a pressurization that is making you more sensitive. So colors might seem brighter. Sounds are more sensitive. You might hear or see different vibrational tones. Taste might change. Anything in relationship to sense body is increasing. There is also a point of, for those of you that already feel like you are deep into astral, be very, very mindful. Because the space in between time is going to make things more permeable. There's a less shell, right? But equally with these tower moments and these chariots, like this shift in energy, manifestation and creation is happening like this. There are no time boundaries. That being said, there is a full circle cycle that is occurring with this February moon. There's a 4-year cycle ending, 2018, not the pandemic. I think back to 2018. Something arose for you that is now coming into its full culmination, or actually it's done, it's served its emanation and evolution. So it's completely severed. In addition to that, there's an 8-month reflect. Whatever was occurring for you in the summer, when this time shift reality started to begin, and whatever was occurring for you in August, September, that might have been dealing with self-expression of the ego or how you were relating yourself to the outer world, is coming to a cycle end. It's as if your higher consciousness from all experiences is now being lifted and awakened and integrated without the reference to what brought you to that experience or that awareness. Lastly, time-space shifts. Another thing that is going to drop off is it's like mechanical time. And so any time of like, I have to be to sleep at this time, I need to eat at this time, or where are you on this time on like the physical clock is shifting. So if your time sleep is off, or remembering, or how your actions are applied within a certain time, or certain efforts that get you to a certain goal that is time-based, like I need to be married at this time, or I need to have a house, any of that is shifted out. The sensing has increased, and so now this time reference no longer exists. This is help unifying into a new expression within this. Like I said, it's not a karmic cycle. It's literally like a whole different conscious plane. There's going to be a lot of reconciliation. There's going to be an importance of new boundaries. What I mean by boundaries is binding energy. So this is shifting. For some of you, this might look like an old framework, like this is how things need to go. This is how I've always done it. This is how things are executed, or this is how things play out when it happened this way. Those frameworks are breaking away. So it's like it's also moving people to different boundaries. So for many of you, because this perception has shifted and the way that you are seeing and being held within time space is different, there's this new surgence of your perception. And for some of you, quite literally, you're waking up into new lands. Like your view is different. Like you're in a new place, you're in a new home, you're in a new space. Your mind is different. Like some of you've tapped into learning different things from different lands, deeper wisdom, deeper knowledge. Distant ideas are now starting to spark into you, or callings or seeds within you that once seemed so distant or down the road or needed. Time is now here at your gate. We have crossed this gate of the underworld, and so what is available is now unconditioned. It is an emergence of the unity within, and this divine feminine that is hit is we have reconnected to the central goddess, the 4-point corners. This is an amazing moon for the next full weeks to honor your dead, release any forms and any thoughts, any expressions, anything that is not coming into manifested. Now we honor that. We also release the ghosts, the phantoms of fear. And any spirit that is not taking form is going to be honored and then sealed. In that, it is a unifying and coming together. So it's very important to stay clean. Be mindful of your energies. Be mindful of the binds you connect to certain people, the references. Be mindful of the binds you connect through thought. Thinking ahead is going to be a disservice. This energy is detaching and calling for a presence beyond what you have known. So anything that is attached will quickly shift. Any expectation or misaligned intention you might know will disappear or kind of fade out. This is some of the shifting energies that are happening very, very quickly. The mental binds are shifting or breaking. You're moving not only to boundaries, but the boundaries around you are opening. So equally be so mindful of who you let into your space. This is a highly fertilizing energy. And last thing, take time in nature. This is not the time that we set forward our desires. There's a purification and a movement of spiritualizing. Again, Venus and Mars are really working to move any type of new creation of self and of pleasure, of enjoyment, of experience onto a new realm. And so allow your desires to take a form that is unconditioned by your mind, that is even unknown and foreign to you. This is going to better serve on how things unfold within your space and how directive will take its own course and you will be guided through it. Okay, my loves, this is a very stirring February. But from this February, we begin a brand new period of awakening Dharma, and it is a very powerful one. There's a lot of also just a balancing. So many of you might have received like windfalls, shifts, or good things like that is also coming. Again, because we're no longer on a karmic cycle, things that are due to you from past lives might come forward. Exercise temperance. Trust in the entire process. Place no means of judgment, discern, or classification. Free the mind of thoughts. Thoughts will have characteristics, and this energy is so light and ethereal. Thoughts are becoming things quicker than ever. Purify those and allow things to move through you. That is the main theme that started to happen from January full moon to this full moon, is the conduit. It's like the reed in Egyptian, it's like the reed in the grass. For those of you that have this Capricorn or Aquarius placement, or you have Pisces and Virgo energy or Cancer energy, even Gemini is playing a prominent role. Remember, Mercury is bringing forth a higher wisdom of immortality, of connecting the nodes, but also connecting how we draw forces together for creation, okay? All right, my loves, this is a very, very powerful moon. Check out the blog. If you'd like a personal reading, all of my information is below. Visit the website, and I hope to connect with you next month. IG, leave your comments. It's always a pleasure. Sending lots and lots of love. Hold on tight. There's a brand new horizon that is dawning. Ciao a tutti.